Entaratostar, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kylaris, and today I'm going to be bringing you what seems to be either a show game between KiwiKaKi and PAINUser, or I'm not so sure, just a friendly game. So yeah, it could, as I say, it could be a show match. I'm not 100% sure, but I was highly recommended this replay, and it is quite a long one. So we're going to be here on the GSL map, which I can't remember the name of, god damn it, but it does indeed have these supply depots at the bottom of ramps, and it has a very easy to take second expansion, which I absolutely love this map. I think it is one of the best maps ever to come out of StarCraft so far, but that is up for debate, as some people do not like these huge maps, but this is absolutely sprawling, and just the fact that this second expansion is so easy to take means that you really go into bigger macro games, and PAINUser here up in the top as the yellow Terran, whilst KiwiKaKi going to be playing the orange Protoss on this 3 o'clock position, so this should be indeed a good game. Now, let's just get all the boring stuff out of the way first. From the 10th of March onwards, I am going to be offering coaching lessons to Protoss players between Platinum and Bronze level. Once I hit Masters, I think I can open that up to Diamond. I'm not going to be opening it up to Diamond just yet, as I'm still technically in Diamond, although as I say, I have quite a large bonus pool, so I sort of see myself as a bit better, but I just don't get time to ladder, so I can't really start coaching Diamond without the credentials, in inverted commas, of actually being above Diamond to a certain degree. And I'm not, if you do opt for those lessons or anything, I'm not going to just be teaching you this is the greatest build ever, go with this, or this is cheese, this is awesome. I'm going to be teaching you kind of reactive play and really looking into the later stages of games, as opposed to just kind of ending games there and then. So if you are interested in that, please email me at kylaristarcraft@hotmail.co.uk or message me on YouTube. Perfect choice. So anyway, let's get into this game. We do have KiwiKaKi going for a very normal build here. Really interesting wall-off placement of these buildings here at this point. I do have a bit of lag, I'm not so sure why, but we'll see how it goes for now. Love this placement, as it will prevent any kind of Hellions coming in from this area. They will have to go all the way around in order to be able to actually get access to this mineral line. So lovely placement of those buildings by KiwiKaKi. I'm assuming that this is a friend match because they were talking to each other before, so it's not going to be anything too fishy. Looks like PAINUser is gearing up to throw down that early expansion, and indeed he does. So that's going to be a 1 gate into expand for the Terran, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if we saw KiwiKaKi doing something similar. He has gone for that second gas though, so that's normally a telltale sign of not going for an expansion just yet from a Protoss player. And we do have PAINUser scouting in the wrong direction. Wow, what is with this lag? I'm going to sort it out. Hopefully that should have sorted, sorry about that. So, yeah, PAINUser is going to be scouting the wrong way, and is going to be coming here at the very last point at which he could have scouted. And he's going to see KiwiKaKi here, although I really don't think KiwiKaKi is going to be expanding just yet. As I said before, he does have that double gas, whereas PAINUser is just adding on 2 more racks in order to be able to defend this quick expansion as soon as he possibly can. Going to be throwing down a bunker as well for extra reassurance, just in case KiwiKaKi does go for anything crazy. And oh, by the way, for the NASL, if you've seen the... Interesting. If you've seen the... Oh wow, actually he's throwing a bunker down to try and block that, but it is cancelled, as this Stalker and Zealot did stop that. And breaking down that supply deep, I'm not 100% sure why, but interesting choice. And yes, anyway, back to the NASL. If you have seen the audition tapes, you should go and check out KiwiKaKi's, because it's pretty good. KiwiKaKi from Silver League is going to be entering the NASL, hopefully doing as much as he can do. But regardless, we do have KiwiKaKi throwing down the expansion at his natural, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw both players soon gearing up to take their thirds. And it looks like PAINUser is going to be gearing up to take that second expansion. I wouldn't be surprised, as this front right now is pretty much impenetrable. He knows that KiwiKaKi is going to be going for that expansion, as he was trying to block it, and indeed he is going to be going for that command center, as it's a pretty safe time to be honest, because as this is going up, KiwiKaKi is not going to be piling on much pressure at all, since he's invested so much in there at this point in time. So PAINUser right now really kind of going to be moving into the lead very soon if he keeps up with this. As I say, he did go for that extremely fast expansion into that very, very fast second. And maybe KiWiKaKi throwing down a pylon here, going to be setting up to take his second expansion, maybe pretty quickly. We'll have to see what goes on. There are a few Marines here doing a bit of scouting, grabbing that Zelniger watchtower, and this map is so huge, it's so fantastic, I love it. A nice big drone transfer there from KiWiKaKi, and he is throwing up a robotics facility, so maybe we're going to see a bit of Colossus play, probably, since it's the only thing that anyone ever does in Protoss, yawn, but it doesn't matter too much. So we do have that engineering bay going down in the smoke for PaiNuser. KiWiKaKi hasn't actually thrown down anything in this smoke just yet, but it's a lot less likely that any drops will be coming from this side as of right now, since both players have scouted each other out, and KiWiKaKi does know that PaiNuser is in this top position, so he's going to be a lot more worried probably about this edge more than this edge down here in this position. So we'll have to see how that unfolds in the game. We do have Stim coming up for PaiNuser, as well as another orbital command. No doubt at his second expansion, more mules, going to be trying to mine that as quickly as possible. And just going to the income tab, we do see that PaiNuser does already have quite a substantial lead, although not as many harvesters. So that is quite interesting. Both of the bases of KiWiKaKi are going to be saturated a lot better in terms of kind of equal saturation, whereas PaiNusers are not going to be saturated for a while, but it's he will pull ahead if he does decide to produce a lot of SCVs from those bases. So we have a few more gateways going down now for KiWiKaKi, as well as a forge going down. He's going to be gearing up to take this second expansion in just a second by the looks of things, which is fantastic. He really needs to keep up on the macro. But again, he is 10 harvesters ahead. At this point, although at this point, as you can see in the income tab, these mules are really paying them for themselves, bringing PaiNuser in a lot of extra minerals. So it's the mules alone that are really kind of giving PaiNuser at this point a little bit of a lead. So going back to the production tab, that Nexus is on the way, and we do have +1 weapons on the way for KiWiKaKi as well. Chrono boosting out even more probes, and we do indeed have a Stargate going down, which is probably my favourite building from the Protoss, as it makes Void Rays. Simple enough. Little bit Psylocked there from KiWiKaKi. He's going to have to throw a pylon down. It is indeed going down. But PaiNuser at this point not doing a whole lot. He does have a factory down and a starport on the way. Going to be committing to a lot of bio. We don't have any weapons upgrades on the way for PaiNuser at the moment, but he will really need to keep up with those weapons upgrades later on in the game if he does indeed want to keep up with the Protoss at all. Nice placement of this missile turret here. Going to be scouting out for any DTs that do want to do some tricky play. That +1 weapons upgrade is indeed now on the way for PaiNuser, so good timing on that. Keeping up with the Protoss, as said before, and we do have a tech reactor. A tech reactor? That's from the campaign. What the frig am I on about? We have a reactor going down on this starport, so that's going to be used mainly for those medevacs, and then when he sees Colossus, getting some Vikings. So, oh my god, a second Stargate on the way, and a fleet beacon on the way as well. So this looks like not your standard Protoss versus Terran, and PaiNuser even going for another base. Jesus Christ, I imagine by the end of this game we're going to be completely flooded with expansions and bases. So we do also have weapons level 1 for air on the way for KiWiKaKi, as well as armor level 1 for his ground units, and combat shields for these units as well. So he is going to be making a push out with this Bioforce. Pretty intimidating Bioforce, but if the force fields are good, then that's going to shut down this completely. But no, PaiNuser at this point deciding to move back. I really think that he could have done some damage there if the force fields weren't so great, but you can't really take that gamble in the position of the Terran, as you could lose all of those units and then just be screwed. So KiWiKaKi actually now going for Graviton Catapult, which means we already have 2 carriers in production. Really liking this build from KiWiKaKi, taking that early second expansion even, and just bolstering the front with these gateway units in order to transition into carriers. Really liking that, but at the same time an absolute plethora of things coming out for PaiNuser at this point. We have medevac, we have a sensor tower coming out. Where on earth is that sensor tower? I'm not so sure. Maybe in the middle of the map. I haven't found it, but I can't find it. It'll appear anytime soon. Weapons upgrades are almost done. Mobius reactor on the way, and we do have an armory going down as well. So these probes and things are over here, just doing a little bit of a dance. There's a Marine over here looking around, and he is going to maybe find that pylon. Nice place to put on that pylon, just in case he needs to warp in over there. And that sensor tower indeed has gone down. So actually, that sensor tower does see this expansion, so that is quite interesting. And it will also spot for any kind of airplay that does go on. Now going to be moving in with a drop, which could do a lot of damage to this expansion, although 3 cannons and 5 stalkers are going to be able to defend that pretty easily. Maybe he'll have to go around to the natural of TERMINUS in order to do some proper damage, as there are no cannons here, and TERMINUS really hasn't anticipated the possibility of going round to this natural. So LGPainuser's 3rd expansion is on the way, and we do have this drop almost on the way. Is he actually going to the main? He is, but he's going to get intercepted by these carriers. Oh no! Oh, but he is doing a drop in the natural, but at the same time that medevac did get taken out by those carriers, so now he does know that they have carriers, but he's really going to need to pick that up and run away, as this force is going to be way too strong. Maybe even getting a medevac! Oh, that was so close! That medevac could have fallen if that was not going to be the case. These carriers were going to be preemptively moving around in order to try and intercept any medevac that did try to come to this natural. But the carriers are going to move back, as they are extremely strong, and it's going to be ridiculous. So now TERMINUS actually throwing down his 3rd as well, but LGPainuser does see that, and he's going to be moving down with his force and taking that out pretty effectively. There is nothing here to defend that, but at the same time TERMINUS just producing mass carriers, so that is going to play out for a very, very nice mid to late game. And we do have a Twilight Council down there, and a few more gateways coming out, but this expansion looks like it's going to have to be cancelled, and indeed TERMINUS does cancel. So LGPainuser there, really nice use of exploiting the fact that his units are far more mobile, and going to be taking out that 3rd pretty easily, leaving a single Marine there to take out that pylon, but doesn't actually realise that that pylon is there, as it was not seen. So at this point, TERMINUS though now feels pretty confident in moving out to a certain degree. Actually, no, he's just going to be securing this expansion. Nice play there, as this will be easily defended by these units, and these units can still defend his natural and potentially 2nd expansion, although this is looking very nicely saturated at this point. And LGPainuser now going for a 4th expansion as well. This is going to shape up to be a ridiculous game. We do have airship weapons level 2 on the way for LGPainuser, as well as ground weapons level 2 almost finished. We have cloaking on the way for ghosts. I believe that's personal cloaking. Personal cloaking. That must mean ghosts. I'm sure it does. It either means ghosts or... yeah, it means ghosts. We have a huge battle in the middle here, and oh my god, I've missed like half of it, but great force fields. They're going to be siphoning off those units, and these Vikings trying to get in on the action, picking off 1 or 2 of those carriers. But now all these ground units are going to be forced to move back, as these carriers are just way too much, and he just doesn't have enough air defense against these carriers. These Marines are getting, Marauders even getting picked off quite easily, and LGPainuser are forced to pull back there. Really doesn't have enough Marines to be able to deal with those carriers, or enough Vikings either. But so as you can see in the production tab, we do have 4 Vikings on the way, as well as 5 Marines. So really kind of reactive in the sense that he really needs to deal with those carriers, otherwise they're going to be just become too strong. 3 starports now down. Stargates even for TERMINUS, and nicely transferred from this main to his 3rd expansion. Although we do have LGPainuser now taking a 6th base, ladies and gentlemen, and just bolstering his force in the front. But this is seen by TERMINUS, so he knows exactly what is going on at this point. Whew. So TERMINUS sticking with these carriers, going to be getting that +3 weapons for these carriers, and +3 weapons on carriers, let me tell you, is utterly ridiculous, because each interceptor has 2 attacks, and there are, 8 interceptors for each of these carriers, so it's a massive, incomprehensibly insane DPS upgrade for these carriers when you actually get that +3 weapons upgrades. So carriers, just loads and loads of carriers on the way. We have more bolstering here. 8 carriers? Is that 8 carriers? That is 8 carriers. I don't know what LGPainuser can do against this. I think he's really going to need to actually get battle cruisers out on the field with Yamato cannon in order to be able to take them down as fast as he possibly can, because just this many carriers is just ridiculous. A Marine coming out here to spot, and he does indeed spot all these carriers, and TERMINUS has got to be absolutely crapping himself right now. He is trying to set up a perimeter here with bunkers, but that's really not going to be any use as these carriers do a massive amount of damage. The Vikings taking out a few of those interceptors, but it's not going to be too much as the Vikings just don't have the DPS, although taking out a carrier there, nice snipe off there by those Vikings. And at the same time, though, these ground units are going to be coming in, and they're going to be doing a lot of damage to these ground units of TERMINUS. So now the carrier's getting in on the action. So many interceptors here. The Vikings are trying to take them all out, but it's just not enough, as there is just not enough air defense here in order for TERMINUS to actually take out this army. So KiWiKaKi here looking in a really great position. He has taken that expansion down in the 6 o'clock position as well, and he's going to be just demolishing this contain with these carriers. Taking out another carrier there, though. TERMINUS a nice micro on these Vikings. In fact, taking out another carrier. Oh my holy god. And some... Don't whisper me in the middle of a cast, you bastards. I shall whisper you back in a second. So yeah, I really didn't think that TERMINUS was going to be able to kill as much as he did there, but breaking out of that contain, that was actually a very nice contain by TERMINUS, as he set up that defensive perimeter in order to be able to potentially whittle away the carrier count here, and he did a very, very good job of whittling down that carrier count. Although we do have 3 more carriers on the way, as well as armor level 2 for his ground units, and armor level 1 for his... Oh crap, what have I done? Oh crap, 1 second. So, that's what you get for playing a game or watching a game that is too epic. The PC blue screened, and it was fantastic. So, we do have that Templar Archives now coming down for KiWiKaKi, and again, I'm pretty sure from, I can't remember, it was like 10 minutes ago I had to restart the PC, but there was a massive engagement in the middle, and it was a really nice kind of play from both players, to be honest. I think I was saying about the fact that TERMINUS was playing very smartly, whittling down this carrier count, really needs to keep that low, otherwise if they do get in too massive a number, then he's going to be in a really bad spot. Now trying to set up this contain again, but it's going to be denied as KiWiKaKi has spotted it, and I'm pretty sure he has an observer somewhere still. Maybe I've been... Ah, there it is, just up there, and getting a few shots off with those Vikings, but not going to do any not much damage at all. And as we can see in this bottom position, this expansion has been set up quite nicely. Although, oh my god, a lot of these probes are pretty idle there. KiWiKaKi, you really need to sort that out. We do have weapons level 3 for ships on the way now for TERMINUS. A few Vikings idle as well, so both players suffering from idleness. And big stim going off here, going to be trying to take out as much of this army as possible. A lot of Marines in this competition trying to take out as much of the air as possible, but it's not going to prove to much effect. Although he is taking out a lot of the ground army, and if he can keep a lot of these Vikings alive, then he can take out some of these carriers. One carrier does fall. He could take out another carrier does fall. Taking out this carrier maybe? Oh, no. Just a bit of a snitch there. It's constantly producing these interceptors, keeping them down. That carrier did fall down. So, but it's, again, TERMINUS are really kind of trading armies here, doing a really good job of trading armies, to be honest, as he can replenish extremely fast with this biocomposition, whereas carriers are so hard to reproduce going into the end of this game. So we do have Psystorm actually coming out for KiWiKaKi, as well as the armor level 2 is almost finished. We have air armor level 2 on the way as well, and the weapons infantry level 3 on the way for TERMINUS. And TERMINUS are going to be throwing down that 6th expansion, sorry, and we do have a lot of High Templars now warped in for KiWiKaKi, so they're going to be great against this biomix, and especially these ghosts, getting some nice feedbacks on those guys instead of having his whole army EMP'd. A few carriers moving up here, going to be taking out that turret. Look how fast that turret went down, just to 3 carriers. That was ridiculous. As I said, those 3 upgrades for these carriers is just insane, utterly insane. They become such amazing DPS at that point. Moving in now with a lot of Vikings, going to be trying to pick off those carriers, but nice blink and trying to take out those as much as possible. And KiWiKaKi really doesn't have as much a ground army as I would like to see. He's coming in with some storms. Is he going to land some storms? No, he's not. He's just backing up. And going to be letting these carriers try and finish off this, but they're not gonna, as these carriers are not doing so well against this Marine-Viking combination. The Vikings now coming in here, getting a few shots off with from these cannons, and ooh, a bit of lag there. And do have a nice storm going down on all those bio units. Another great storm on quite a few of his own stalkers actually, and going to be finishing off that push quite easily. So really nice play once again from both players. We do have a lot of chrono boost stocking up on these Nexus, but it's nothing too consequential. It'll be fine, it'll be fine. A lot of probes now transferring, probably going to be going down to this fifth expansion, sorry, of KiWiKaKi, and I'm going to be in a good state here at this point. It's a really kind of close match going into these later stages of this game. We do have Kaidarian Amulet, as well as armor for buildings on the way for the Terran, and armor for his ships as well coming up. Again, I really would like to see some kind of switch onto battle cruisers. We do have a second armory on the way actually for PAINUser, going to be getting double upgrades anytime soon, and it looks like he's making just more reactors on these starports in order to get out more Vikings, but I'm not so sure. I really don't think that Vikings are the answer. I really think that Yamato Cannon would be fantastic against them, but any personal opinion, maybe I'm completely wrong. So we do have another command center going down here in the back. Maybe he's going to just be using it for some kind of mule dropping, as there aren't very many bases to take on the map. He would be quite okay taking this base, as it is very near where he can defend quite easily. If he took this base as well, I wouldn't blame him at all. PAINUser playing a very, very, very kind of economical game here at this point. Lots of stuff. Battle cruisers are on the way for PAINUser, so that is going to make for an interesting game, especially if he can get some big Yamato cannons off on those carriers. That is really going to shut down that carrier play from KiWiKaKi. So these battle cruisers are coming out over here. 4 battle cruisers now in production, so we're going to see a lot of airship wars in this match. Surprisingly, we have not seen a single Colossus, which I am extremely happy about, because Colossus just dominate every single matchup nowadays, and it's so boring to watch them over and over again to a certain degree. So, almost maxed here, KiWiKaKi, but at the same time, PAINUser is maxed. We do have those battle cruisers on the way with 3 ups, as apart from the armor is lacking somewhat. Really would like to see Yamato Cannon out, but he's not researching it just yet, so these battle cruisers are just going to have to use their standard shooty ability in order to be able to deal some damage. We do have probably a big drop going to be going down on this bottom base down here. He's moving along with a lot of units, just going to be like bringing the rest of his army here in order to be able to reinforce, just in case these do get picked off in transit, but indeed they are not going to be. And big drop now going down on this base. He's really not going to be able to reinforce this in time before it does go down. He is whopping in a few zealots here, but that's really not going to prevent much damage at all, as only 4 zealots against such a heavy biomix. He is going to be coming down here with some carriers, going to be trying to reinforce that. There is a big bio push coming through down here on this bottom side. Trying to throw that expansion up, but he's really going to need to cancel that, but it does go down. And KiWiKaKi in a bit of a bad spot here. PAINUser is putting on a lot of pressure on a lot of fronts, although this bio has been taken out by this huge force of carriers and gateway units, but at the same time this force is going to go down. A few storms were going down on these units, but the medivacs are keeping them up so well, and that Nexus should fall, and it does fall. PAINUser really needs to get out of there. Nice storm going down on those units, finishing them off, but the damage has been done. Taking out this expansion and this potential expansion as well is huge at this point in the game. He's really going to have to expand once again, and KiWiKaKi looking really short on the low money front at this point. Just re-establishing these bases, but he doesn't have a lot of money. He's really been investing in these carriers, and losing a single carrier is just so expensive. As you can see, they're 350 minerals and 250 gas. So every carrier loss is a really, really big loss. And we have the battle cruisers on the way, but even they are very expensive as well. We don't have Yamato Cannon yet. I would love to see Yamato Cannon out, and he really needs to make sure that he doesn't get fed back on all those battle cruisers, otherwise that could spell absolute doom, as it does a huge amount of damage if they're too high on energy. So we do have shields at level 2 on the way for the Protoss, as well as just more interceptors and more carriers on the way. You really need, I think he needs more of a ground army in order to be able to bolster this, unless he just gets a 200 army of carriers and pushes across the map, because that would be utterly ridiculous. We'd have PAINUser going for this expansion up in the top corner of this middle area. There you go, that saved my ass there. And not much energy on these battle cruisers anymore. I'm wondering what happened. Maybe I don't know. I'm sure they had more energy than that. Maybe some feedbacks and then repair. I'm not sure. Maybe we missed something. But a big battle going down here. A big AMP, but a big storm also going down. And these battle cruisers getting really in on the action. These Vikings staying back in order to try and pick off as many of these interceptors as possible. But there's just too many interceptors. You can't do that. I would have liked to have seen these Vikings actually getting in on the fray, trying to take out those carriers as quickly as possible, as he could have probably taken out quite a lot of them if he'd have actually stuck it out in there. Now pushing in with a lot of stalkers and a lot of carriers here, and I'm not so sure what TERMINUS can do at this point. He's really in a lot of trouble, blinking in, trying to take out as many battle cruisers as possible. And as we learned from that QXE Duckload Ra game, these stalkers with blink do fantastically against the battle cruisers in big numbers. So at this point, I'm really not sure what TERMINUS can do. This is just too much of a menacing force. The +3 carriers, just from the very get-go, doing so much damage. And watch these missile turrets fall so fast to all these interceptors. And nice blink there, trying to take out as many of those Vikings as possible. But these carriers are just going to wreak havoc with TERMINUS's economy here, taking out that expansion there. Nice storm going down off on those units, but I'm wondering if storm actually hurts interceptors, because interceptors, you can never look at the health, so that'd be interesting to know. And yeah, so I'm really not sure what TERMINUS can do. Pushing into the main here of TERMINUS, nice blink once again, trying to take out as many of those Vikings as possible, and these carriers are just going to be pushing in and taking out pretty much everything of TERMINUS. TERMINUS are in a really bad spot here, and he's going to need to GG pretty soon, and TERMINUS are very scared by these carriers, and indeed does GG, and that is going to be game, ladies and gents. So thank you very much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this match, and TERMINUS is not sure what he did wrong. I'm thinking that he didn't... I don't know, maybe the Vikings would have, maybe mass Vikings would have been a good choice, ultimately. I'm not a Terran, so I wouldn't know that much. So regardless, thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this cast between TERMINUS and TERMINUS. If you like what you see, please do subscribe, and if you're already around here, I love you very much. So thank you very much, and I will see you next time.